Good evening, folks, and welcome to Garbage Theater. Tonight's installment, Masters of the Universe Revelation. I'm your host, Chase. I'm back.
He's back.
With my co-host, Blake and John.
Ooh.
I'm back, and better than ever, because my balls don't work anymore.
Hell yeah.
Got the old snip on the old sabbatical.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm still
I got
feeling
my dick chopped off too, like a while ago.
Oh man. I had the witchcraft version where they don't actually, cut you at all. But still hurts.
Yeah, mine was way more metal than yours.
And Blake, he's still intact.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still ready to go.
His seed's still for sale.
That's right.
Just let him know.
Yep.
Slide into his DMs.
Yeah. So, on my triumphant return to the show, which you guys did a fantastic job while I was gone.
Ah.
Maybe overselling it.
We did a job, not a fantastic job.
We did it. It's good to get good feedback from the boss, though.
Yeah. But on coming back, we're gonna bend the rules a little bit, and we're gonna do something that we said we wouldn't do, which is a series. But it's something that's near and dear to at least two of us. And it's getting all kinds of press right now. So I figured, what the hell? Let's do it. So we all binged the first 5 episodes of the new Masters of the Universe series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. And I think we're coming in with opinions.
Yes, I am pissed.
I'm pissed too, but I'm pissed at everybody. I'm pissed at He-Man fans. I'm pissed at Kevin Smith. I'm pissed at everybody.
I'm pissed at the show.
And John's like, what do you want from me?
Yeah. I mean, like, yes, I was a huge He-Man fan when I was a dumb, stupid baby, but I haven't really been like following it since. So yeah, I don't have a strong emotional like connection to the show, to the series, to the whatever. So I mean, I'm not pissed about anything really. It's kind of a weird show, but
yeah. Well, as Blake can attest, I lived and breathed He-Man for the second I was born. I had all the toys. I watched the show every day. I went to the goddamn He-Man on Ice thing when I was like 5. I did it all.
Yeah, I remember in college when the reboot in the like early 2000s came out. Chase was all about it.
The 2002 reboot came out, and I was like, "Oh my god, He-Man is back! I need all the things," and I got them all, and it was great. Because the reboot show,
those toys were fantastic.
It was good. The toys were fantastic. The show was good. The intro was amazing.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking like. I'm sure your parents thought as they brought you to He-Man on Ice that this kid will be a virgin for the rest of his life. And here you are getting snipped because you're just blowing too many loads.
Yep.
Loads too potent.
So there you go.
It's a success story if you think about it.
A triumph against all odds.
Yeah.
Yes. God. So, needless to say, He-Man has been ever since the 2002 reboot, has been in development hell through all kinds of different stages. I can't remember how many live-action movies they've tried to do and never saw the light of day, other than the Dolph Lundgren one, which I still care about. Frank Langella's Skeletor was fucking fantastic.
Oh, he slaps. He kills it.
Yeah. But Like there was like I want to say Ang Lee was gonna do a live action one at some point. That never happened.
Oh my god. I can't even imagine what that would be.
I don't know. I think he did the Hulk instead. The big burly thing. But I don't know. It just never saw the light of day. And then Kevin Smith got his grubby little mitts on it, and I was hopeful. And then the trailer came out. It was like, oh goddamn, this is going to be amazing. And I don't even know how to broach how I want to describe it. Like I was telling my co-host in the text before we started recording that I want to approach it in two different angles. Just talking about the show in a vacuum, and then the show with all the controversy around it.
Well, my reasons for being pissed are pretty simple. So can I just say why I'm pissed?
Go for it.
I'm so pissed at this show because it was only 5 episodes.
What a twist!
Yes, exactly.
I knew there was a twist. Somehow, from the text, I was like, he's not going to be pissed in the way that he's expecting me to be pissed.
I saw no problems with this because I did some fact checking. Well, not fact checking. I guess I looked into things. I had a revelation when I looked at to start watching the show. The first revelation was that it came
A
up
Masters of the Universe revelation?
Yeah. First revelation was it came up in my kids' Netflix queue, which means it was made for kids, not for me. So I went into it thinking like that. And the other thing was, it didn't say He-Man in the Masters of the Universe, just says Masters of the Universe.
Exactly.
Yes.
I agree.
Now, I would have liked to seen more He-Man, but it wasn't like once I saw it all completed, it was fine that I didn't see more of them.
Yeah.
I just I wanted to see more of them, but it went in with the story. It was fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Let's do the show in a vacuum. Forget
Yes.
everything that's going on. The show. Period.
I
That's
still don't know what the controversy is, by the way. I watched it even knowing there was controversy, and I cannot figure out what it is.
We'll save the controversy till the end. Let's just talk about the show in a vacuum.
All right.
It just appeared without anything else. So it's not perfect, but it's fine for sure.
Yeah.
There are some things in it that I didn't like, and it's not really like my big thing is, and I thought about it a lot, was when in the first episode. Okay, first episode we open up and there's He-Man, and he's riding robot horse. I can't remember what the name of the robot horse is.
Gotta love
And
a robot horse.
He's got Spike-Or and Clawful in tow, and he's bringing him to Castle Grayskull, and it's all trickery because they all Clawful turns out to be Evelyn, and Spike-Or turns out to be Skeletor, and He-Man is actually Fake-Or, and they get into Castle Grayskull. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through all these characters like everybody knows who they are.
The naming, I can't get over the names still to this day.
Well, I was glad that I liked the TV show when I was a kid, and I had all the toys, but that's about as far as I went. So I had enough knowledge to know who Fake-Or was and all these things. So I was okay with all that.
Yeah. So yeah, Skeletor finally gets into Grayskull. It's revealed that Grayskull isn't actually Grayskull. It's the what do they call it? The Fortress of Wisdom.
Yeah.
And Grayskull is just an illusion. Grayskull goes away, and it's this like prismatic palace thing. And Skeletor realizes that he needs to get to the power source underneath Grayskull. That's where everything comes from. And so they get there, and actual He-Man and Teela and Man-at-Arms all come. They have a big brouhaha in the bottom of Grayskull. Moss Man shows up because he lives under Grayskull apparently now, and Skeletor kills him.
Thing now.
Yeah. So Skeletor kills Moss Man, which sends He-Man into a blind rage. He-Man stabs Skeletor through the gut and pins him against this thing. And Skeletor starts laughing. You finally use that sword the way it was meant to be used. You know, little nudge to the 80s show where he never actually used the sword for anything.
Right.
And the sword is actually a key that opens up the box, and there's the little ball. It's the power of Eternia and where all the magic comes from. And Skeletor smashes it because why not?
Smashy.
And when he smashes it, it's gonna blow up every existence. So the sorceress freezes time and tells He-Man and Teela, we gotta do something. He-Man says, well, if I use the Sword of Power as a conduit, I can trap the explosion. But she says, that's gonna kill you if you do that. And he's like, whatevs. So... and by the way, the fight between Skeletor and He-Man rocked.
Yeah.
Oh,
the whole first episode was amazing. So good. And so He-Man splits the sword, he contains the blast, it kills him, and it appears to kill Skeletor. So there's no more magic. The sword's gone, He-Man's gone, blah. So then they go back to Castle Grayskull, and this is where Man-at-Arms has to break it to King Randor that He-Man's dead, i.e. your son is dead.
Mm-hmm. And this is after earlier in the episode the king shit on Adam so hard.
Big time.
He straight up said
Teela...
I've never been proud of you as my son.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Teela, Man-at-Arms is retiring, and he gets his little watch and his pension, and they make Teela the new Man-at-Arms. And while this ceremony is happening, Adam was like, man, Duncan sure looks proud. And Rando's like, yeah, hopefully I can be proud like that one day if you weren't such a sniveling little shit.
I was like, god damn, you have to do him like that.
Which only goes to show how good of a person Prince Adam is, because if it had been me, I would have had the power real fucking quick and I'd have chopped that dude's head off.
So, they're back at Grayskull. Man-at-Arms breaks the news. Teela, however, she found out he was Adam when he was doing the whole thing where he contained the explosion.
Right.
So that's when she comes to realize that He-Man and Adam are the same person. So they're back there. He tells them Randor is furious that his son's dead, and he was a dick to him all these years. B, that he was He-Man the whole time, and Duncan kept this from him when He-Man was out there risking his life all the time. And then in the middle of all this, Teela just goes off in a totally undeserved tirade where she's like, I'm the most hurt because my friend didn't tell me he was He-Man. Fuck that your son's dead, dude. I'm out.
Yeah, but he didn't like his son anyway.
I was just like, whoa, Teela, know your place a little bit here.
Well, I got a little bit of, even though they're the same person, He-Man and Prince Adam, there was a very much a Boromir and Faramir thing happening with his dad there.
Yeah.
Where he was upset that, he's upset that He-Man died. When he finds out that his good-for-nothing son died, but his son could have been He-Man this whole time. He was very upset. I think he was more upset that he didn't get to know his son as He-Man than he was that he was dead.
Yeah.
I'm just
saying.
saying.
Could have got his autograph.
Right.
I'm just saying. In that moment, there's a lot happening, and Teela kind of makes it about herself.
Yeah, that was tough for me too. I was like this, this is the big what's the word? This is setting you down the path that you're on for the rest of the show.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is the revelation
about this.
My kind of sort of friend that was kind of just this bumbling guy that I always had to take go out of my way and risk my life to save is actually He-Man and didn't need saving at all. And now I'm gonna be I'm the most hurt. I'm out. Fuck all of you guys. And fuck magic too.
I'm an atheist now. I'm getting an asymmetrical like undercut thing. Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, so I felt that was that part was a little strange. Duncan is stripped of his Man-at-Arms title and he's exiled from town. It's all the tourney. I don't like. Did they ever name the city that they're in?
Yeah, they said it.
Eternos. That's what it is.
Yeah, Eternos.
Yeah, he banishes him from Eternos, and then that's it. That's episode 1. So the big thing was He-Man's dead, and that's a big part of the controversy outside of the show itself.
Okay.
Is that basically everyone's saying Kevin Smith made a big bait and switch by marketing this thing as this, we made this specifically for the OG fans from the 80s, i.e. late 30-year-old men.
Right.
And that trailer came out, and it's kind of hard to disagree that watching that trailer, it looks like it's He-Man's show.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he dies in the first episode. That's the big thing that people are mostly pissed about. There's a sub thing to that. There's a YouTube streamer that has a contact that apparently was working on the show that leaked this information.
Correct.
That it's not actually He-Man's show. He's gonna be taken out of the picture in the first episode, and it's gonna focus on Teela for the entire series.
Right.
That came out. They posted it, and Kevin Smith immediately responded by saying, "This is bullshit. It's a lie. Don't trust these people. It's
Right.
He-Man's show. He doesn't step aside." And then the reviews came out,
Yeah.
and the reviews said, "It's kind of true." And then the show released, and everybody went, "Holy shit! It's absolutely true."
So I
And
kind of
that's-
see both sides. I see both sides of the coin with that. So, yeah, he did come back and blatantly lie that it was a He-Man show. However, M. Night Shyamalan ain't gonna say that Bruce Willis is dead before the movie comes out. So
This better be the Bruce Willis show.
he had to say something,
Yeah.
because it was supposed to obviously be this oh shit moment, and it was
Yeah.
getting spoiled. So I mean, I get why he did it. It still sucks that he lied, but I mean, he's trying to keep the integrity of the story before people see it.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly wanted to shock people. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't do that without that being your intent. It's like he's trying to pull off a first episode of Invincible or something.
Yeah. I think he was between a rock and a hard place.
I mean, I think the right thing to do though is to maybe not respond at all.
That's what a lot
Possibly.
of the people are saying, that he should have just not said a thing.
Well, Kevin Smith gonna talk.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, if anybody's gonna talk, it's that motherfucker.
Silent Bob my ass.
Never shuts up, Bob. More like it.
I know.
Well, that's a big thing. The second thing, you see, this is like, I agree with the YouTubers on that part, that Kevin Smith clearly, like, he came out and he lied about all this. Sure,
Well,
that's obvious.
Let me say one thing. This is only like half the story, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he could be referring to the second half of the story. Maybe like
Exactly.
He-Man
No
makes a big
one
comeback.
knows what the second half's. Yeah, nobody knows what's happened in the second half at all. And that's where there's a lot of things that the same YouTubers are saying that I can't get on board with, because it's the same sensationalist. We're gonna take this one thing that happened and we're gonna blow it up, and we're gonna make the whole Masters of the Universe Revelation show out to be a personal attack on He-Man fans when it isn't.
No.
Yeah, that's absurd.
One of the big things that they're complaining about is Teela's gay now.
Which
I mean,
I didn't get that.
Not explicitly.
Not explicitly. And here's my point. Here's the point I gotta make. Okay, yes, you can look at it and say there's some undertones of Teela and Andra.
Yeah,
Andra, right?
Yeah.
Andra, yeah. There's some undertones of Teela and Andra, maybe, possibly, maybe being more than friends. Okay, they're upset about that. Okay, to that point, Did any of you motherfuckers watch the 80s show? They stopped short of having a fucking lemon party at the end of every fucking episode.
It's gay as hell.
It was the gayest fucking show ever made. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing explicit. Like, you can't tell me you can't have, like, two women in a close French relationship, you know? Like, they're just
Yeah. I think that people try to shoehorn that in so much when it's not there. And another good example of that is people are trying to say that about the two boys in Luca, the little Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
That
are they shipping Luca and Alberto?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's
they're
like
children. Come on.
First off, they're children, yes, and they're friends.
Yeah, because I never had any male friends when I was a child.
Oh no, Jesus, that's disgusting.
Christ.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm sure you could have had a few fellas go watch He-Man on Ice with you, and it would have been fabulous.
Me and the squad went down and saw He-Man on Ice.
But anyway, people try to shoehorn that in there, and I think people say it knowing that it's going to ruffle feathers. You know,
and that's what I mean by they're taking this one negative that clearly happened, and they're blowing it up, and they're making the whole show out to be this. And every goddamn YouTube video I watch, it never fails. They say Kevin Smith, Rian Johnson, Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
That's the parallel that every single one of them draws. And
oh my god.
I know we've already spoken our opinions on Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But to me, like, I didn't read all the articles. Like, I saw the headlines of people being upset saying, oh, it's just an extremely woke version of He-Man and all that. And, like, so when I watched it, I was like, you think this is woke? Like, it's just characters doing what they do.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for, like, something woke to happen, and it was like,
never did.
What are you talking about?
And okay, so if you're following Tila didn't do anything out of character, you know?
Yeah, I mean, other than her hissy fit at her friend lying to her, it was a bit extreme, but
I think I think there are some He-Man fans maybe that are still feeling burnt by, like, the She-Ra show, because I know that was pretty controversial too.
Yeah.
And I don't see. I started watching She-Ra with my daughter like 2 nights ago. Like, I hadn't paid any attention. It was on. I said, "Hey, you want to try this?" Yeah, we'll watch it. So we watched the first episode. I didn't see any problem with it. I thought it was fun.
Look, you got to remember who it's made for.
Yeah.
Yeah, little girls.
Exactly. Like, my daughter likes She-Ra. She thought it was great.
Yeah.
But she's a 7-year-old girl.
There was a contingent of guys that felt that her character design wasn't fuckable enough.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, she's, again, a
child in this one.
So, the internet's a messed up place, man.
God. So, yeah.
But I also want to say...
there's the Tila gay thing.
If they did
there's the fact that they said that it's all girl power. And there's more men on the team than women.
Well, yeah.
It's Tila, Evil Lynn,
I don't know,
Andra, and then Man-at-Arms, Roboto, Orko, who was the other one? Beastman.
I mean, there's no...
I feel the rant.
It's
right there. On the surface. So there's plenty of men. They were saying another big complaint was that they kill off all the male characters in the show. Okay, He-Man died. That was pivotal to the plot. The other two we lose are Moss Man and Roboto. Not exactly like the first string Masters of the Universe.
Right.
So who fucking cares?
Exactly.
I guess Skeletor maybe counts too.
Skeletor, Orko sacrifices himself. We don't actually see him die though, so
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you now. Like, I watched this whole thing with my daughter, and she absolutely loved it, but she was genuinely upset that Orko died.
Dude, They made me care about fucking Orko.
I know it.
I was getting mad because I was like, oh, you motherfuckers, don't make me care about Orko.
When he does that standoff with Scareglow at the end, that was some epic shit.
It was some epic shit.
Whenever we were watching it, when Scareglow came up,
Scareglow.
my daughter was like, she's like, is that Skeletor? I was like, no, that's Scareglow. And
And she looked at you like, are you fucking stupid?
yeah, and I could hear my wife rifling through the divorce papers right at that moment. No, you dumb bastard, it's Scareglow. Can't you tell the difference?
Speaking of Scareglow, real quick, I want to mention the cast. The cast is stacked. Okay. I don't know how they got all these people on board for this show. So Scareglow's voiced by Tony Todd.
I didn't pick up on that.
Candyman himself.
Shit, that's awesome.
Trapjaw was Diedrich Bader, who was he was in Office Space and Napoleon Dynamite. Sarah Michelle Gellar is Tila. Of course, Mark Hamill is Skeletor.
Yeah.
Lena Headey.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list now.
Is Evil Lynn.
Kevin Conroy is Merman.
They got Batman to do like a bit part as Merman.
Henry Rollins was Triclops.
Yeah. Yes.
No way.
Henry Rollins. Jason Mewes.
Jason Mewes with Stinkor.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
That's really funny. They got Liam Cunningham, who was Davos in Game of Thrones. He was Duncan.
Man at Arms, yeah.
Man at Arms.
Yeah, I knew that going in.
Justin Long was Roboto.
Yeah, they got some people.
They got people, and then they got Bear McCreary to do the music.
I wasn't a big fan of Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. She's fine.
She sounds like a tiny little girl, and Tila got jacked in episode 2, and the voice just didn't sound right coming out of her.
I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan of her tough bitch post-apocalypse look. I feel like they looked at what's her name, Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, and they were just like, do that. It's like the exact same character design.
I think
about that.
I mean, obviously they were trying to. They wanted her to look vastly different, so you didn't get confused in the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they could have done that just by removing the headpiece, alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What you gonna do? Well, I will say this: they probably made the right choice, because now my daughter's saying she wants a Tila haircut to go back to school. So once again, we got to think about who it's made for, because she was all about it.
Well, and this is one of my sort of complaints about the show is, who is it made for? Because I'm not really sure.
It's ringing with the younger audience.
It is.
We're being told it was made for us.
And I mean, you can tell that it's made with a reverence for the original show. I mean, everything looks. They use classic paintings in the first episode. That was awesome. Everything looks the same. All the vehicles look exactly like the toys do. All the character designs are the same proportions as the old toys.
They took the actual plastic vehicles and just scanned them.
Yeah.
And they're 1-to-1 the toys.
They look dumb as shit, just like the toys did.
Skeletor rolls up in his army to Grayskull, and there's these big stupid shark tanks.
Yeah.
And these big walloping things.
I am glad, though, that they made a better distinction between Prince Adam and He-Man. Because
he wasn't just He-Man and Elite, yeah.
I mean,
in a purple vest.
Old school Prince Adam was fucking jacked. And nobody seemed to notice.
Yeah. It was.
The producers noticed because it saved them a lot of animation budget.
That's true. So there's all that, and it's like just as silly and like cornball, and they use like puns and stuff as the old show. But then there'll be like, you know, Skeletor getting impaled and like crazy techno cults and like body horror and like.
See, that was the cool thing because all the silly, like punny, like goofiness was in the flashbacks.
Right.
So they would flash back to what was supposed to be during the 80s He-Man run, and it was all goofy and silly, like Skeletor and Evil Lyn on a yacht talking about the view and shit. And then they would flash.
When they first cut to He-Man on the boat with Skeletor, his line is, "It makes sense you've resorted to piracy, Skeletor."
So yeah, it's like I liked how they did that. Like whenever they went back in time, it was goofy in 80s, and when it was current, it was dark and gritty. And yeah, the mechanical cult started by Triclops and Trapjaw. When Skeletor's gone, there's a power void in Snake Mountain, so they take over and they make this cult. This is episode 2, and Tila and Andra are hired to go and get this chalice that Triclops uses to turn people into cyborgs. And it turns out the cup is the head of the Havoc staff in disguise, and they get that back to the old woman that hired them, and she turns out to be Evil Lyn, and Evil Lyn takes it to Grayskull, and she gives it to the sorceress, who's all old and dying, which was kind of a callback to the movie.
Yeah, there a few when they like jump on those hover things later on. I was like, is that from the movie?
Discs. I immediately thought of the movie from that too. Yeah, because they had the soldiers on those discs. Evil Lyn's working with the sorceress because they're all fucked because there's no more magic, and they're all the casters of the universe. So they team up with Evil Lyn, and that's when they find out that you have to go basically to heaven and hell to get the two halves of the power sword, so we can reunite them. Somebody can call upon the power and restore magic to Eternia, because everything's going to die without magic. And in episode 3, that's when they go back and they find Man-at-Arms, because he's the only one that has the knowledge to reforge the sword. But like, he doesn't want to go because he's still pissed off that Randor kicked him out, and Tila doesn't really want him around because, you know, you lied to me about He-Man. But Robato's here. Robato knows how to do it. Take him along. We're gonna put a poncho on him so we don't have to draw his stupid gears. That was episode 3. Episode 4 is when they actually go to Subternia, which is hell, which is where Scareglow is, and Tila does the whole Tila does the whole cave on Dagobah thing, where Scareglow wants to feed off her fear, so she goes and she has to fight He-Man, and things happen. They get the sword. They use the sword to open up a gate to Preternia in episode... That's the beginning of episode 5, yeah.
Yeah.
They open up a gate to Preternia, which is basically Valhalla, and all the previous He-Mans are there, including Hero, who was a character in the original, in the toy line. He was dumb. They had him there. One thing that I saw doing research, there's 2 other He-Man-ish guys in the background, and those were both original designs for He-Man back in the 80s.
Cool. Interesting.
So that was a little nod to that. There's one that kind of looks like Conan the Barbarian, and then there's another one that's just kind of like a Wonder Bread He-Man. He's just kind of plain.
Yeah.
Both of those were original designs for He-Man. They have to talk to King Grayskull so they can get the good half of the sword and bind it together, but they're doing some kind of a race or a hunt or something, so they have to catch him. So they catch him.
Kind of weird.
And yeah, they catch him and they talk to him, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you the sword, sure, you could go fix everything. And They want Adam's there, and they explain that of all the Guardians of Grayskull, Adam's the only one, when he died, didn't pick to be He-Man, the He-Man form in Valhalla. He picked to be Adam instead. And they never went into why.
Well, it's just to show that, he didn't... That wasn't what was important to him.
Yeah, but they could have done something with that.
Well, I think...
I think.
The way I read it was, so Tila's whole deal is that she's mad at Adam because she didn't really know who he was.
Yeah.
But when she hears that, when she hears that he chose to be Adam in the afterlife, that was who he was. Like, she didn't miss out on anything. Like,
I hope we see more of these people again, because I'd like to see Grayskull do some shit.
Yeah. He's the Allstate guy.
Yeah.
So they talk to Adam. They want Adam to come back with them, and he agrees to. And that's when King Grayskull tells him, if you go back, you're going to forfeit your seat in Preternia. So when you die again, you don't get to come back.
Right.
You're just dead. And so he says, that's fine. I'm going to go back with my friends and help fix everything.
I also did kind of like that they called him Flea Man.
Yeah.
Because he's small.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
So they all warp back to Grayskull. They forge the sword together, which kills Roboto. Oops.
Domo arigato.
So Roboto's gone. I don't think anybody cares.
No, it's... Again, this is like when I wonder who it's for. They put a bunch of stuff about the fear of death in a children's cartoon. Like, Roboto has a revelation that he's afraid to die as he's dying.
Wait, I feel that he explodes.
So, like... My earlier point was, like, who is this for? Like, you've got all this stuff that's, like, reverential of the original material, and then all this dark stuff. It's like they let Zack Snyder direct a few episodes of the Adam West Batman. It's like goofball shit, but there's still a bunch of people dying and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like they wanted a body count, but they didn't want to kill off anybody important.
Yeah. Not to,
that
they had
He-Man aside.
They had plenty of, like, toys they could have killed, too.
Oh, yes.
Because, that's all these things were, is toys. Whenever you have, like we said.
In the first episode, in the initial battle with Skeletor's army, they feature Clamp Champ and Fisto.
Yeah.
Both those motherfuckers make it.
Look, they threw every toy you could find. Look, when you're talking, like... Of course, the main one's Beastman and all that shit. But the only thing they were missing was whatever that guy's name was that had the suction cup for a face. What was his name?
Leech.
Yeah.
He's from She-Ra. He's part of the Horde.
Well, he should have been there.
The first episode felt like that part of the commercial where it's just the kids' arms, like, playing with the toys. Like, hitting them into each other. But with the arms erased out.
Right.
Yeah, Clawful was driving a tank and exploded. He does this jackknife flip out of it and exploded. You can hear the kid going.
I ain't gonna lie though. Going back to the first episode, one thing for some reason I thought the coolest part, it was not even something that crazy. Just when Man-at-Arms jumped down on God damn it, why can't I think of his name? On Rex Kwando. What's his name? Shit.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Who? The dude with the jaw thing.
Trap Jaw?
Yeah, Trap Jaw. There we go. Man-at-Arms jumps down and knocks him off with a little hover gear thing. And so Man-at-Arms just kind of does like a combat roll and takes off sprinting at full speed, like never slowing down. And I thought that was awesome as shit.
Man-at-Arms had some cool shit.
Man. Man-at-Arms...
When he comes back to save the day when they're being attacked by Merman and his squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of the whole series, in my opinion. That slapped.
Yeah,
He comes flying in. He shoots his little shoulder rockets and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's cool as hell.
Man at Arms is cool. Man at Arms has always been cool, though.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so they go back to Grayskull. They forge the sword. Roboto dies. No one cares. They give it to Adam and say, okay, now's the time. Let's fix everything. He says, okay, for old time's sake, and he lifts up the sword. By the power of Grayskull, I bump bump a dum bang. Turns out, Skeletor, the whole time, was hiding inside of Evelyn's staff because.
Like a little sperm inside a nutsack.
So he pops out, stabs Adam through the stomach with this Havoc staff. Adam collapses. Skeletor grabs the power sword, lifts it up. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power, and turns into a big thing.
Yes. Now, we didn't see He-Man die.
We did not see Adam die.
Yeah.
He just collapses and Tila cradles him. That's it. That's all we saw. He got stabbed in the stomach. It wasn't through the face.
So what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking that somehow all the rest of the Masters universe are going to kill Skeletor early, and he's going to end up in Preternia, and that's going to cause some problems because he should have a seat there now that he's wielding the sword,
Guardian of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's technically Guardian of Grayskull.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna be doing much guarding.
No, but maybe that'll happen. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
That'd be funny as shit if he ends up getting up there and then all the other like former Masters of the Universe just like kick him and spit on him and stuff. Just beat his ass.
I mean, obviously they take him out because, you know, it's all the other Guardians against one guy.
So the unofficial, like the name that they've released, and they said that they call him in the writer's room, is Skelegod.
Well, obviously they're going with the stupid name and stupid nomenclature there.
And that's how it ends. He turns into Skelegod. His visage appears above Grayskull, and it ends. And now we gotta wait till part 2 comes out probably later this year.
Yeah.
Which is a fun place to end it, I think. You know.
Yeah.
You're definitely left saying what's going to happen now, you know?
Yeah, and now I'm interested to see where it goes now.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the leaks happen, before the whole Kevin Smith lied to me and I'm sad now thing happened, I was fine with it. Like, okay, they're going to kill He-Man, and eventually Skeletor is going to become he's going to get the Sword of Power finally. We're going to see what happens when somebody else says the words. Okay, that's cool. It's Skeletor that does it. That's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
No problem with that. There's still another whole half to go that no one knows a damn thing about. So
I just don't understand why they always want the same thing over and over again, you know? Like that's the main argument that's being proffered is I was told this was a He-Man show. I wanted to watch He-Man doing He-Man things. You have an entire show from the 80s. You have another show from the 2000s. Just watch them if that's what you want.
Also, look, I thought I was getting a He-Man show too. Because obviously the trailer and everything looked like the He-Man show to me. But as I watched the show, it didn't make me, like, I never did say, well, I'm not watching this bullshit. No, I watched it. Like, it was good. There was no problem. He still showed up in every episode, though I would have liked to seen him do more badass shit.
Yeah.
But maybe that's coming. But
and
like we said, Man at Arms and all those other people, they all still did badass shit.
All the action was great. All the action was great.
Yeah, even Orko was doing
involved.
badass shit.
Yeah, facts.
So
I did know there was controversy. I didn't know what it was. So every time I would watch the show and be like, is it because they don't like women? Or like, is it because Grayskull's black? Like, why are they mad? I couldn't figure it out.
It seems like the deep-seated thing is, yeah, they don't like women.
Right.
But it's always there's always the sub argument that they put forth, like, this is so stupid. He-Man's not in it. It's the Tila show, and I want He-Man. But if Kevin Smith hadn't lied about it, it would have been fine. I'd have been totally fine with it being Tila's show if Kevin Smith hadn't lied about it.
Yeah, no way.
You don't get to have it both ways. And to me, I'm cool with it being Tila because, like I said, Tila was still just being Tila. She's still a warrior. Now, if they would have just started following He-Man's mom and she would have been this badass warrior, I'd have been like, what the fuck is this? It wouldn't make any sense.
Or worse, we're just going to follow Roboto the entire time.
Right. But I mean, they set it up where Tila's going to become the man at arms. She's obviously worthy of it.
One of the things that they were saying that they were so worried about was that Tila was going to become the new He-Man.
That's the conclusion I came to, is that they're mad because they think Tila's going to be He-Man.
Well, they're wrong, because Skeletor's He-Man now, so.
Yeah. Shut up, losers.
If anything, Tila's going to become the new Sorceress, because as we all know, Tila is the Sorceress's daughter.
Yes, and also that plays into, I hate magic now. And
yes, guess what? You're the fucking Sorceress.
Yeah. Boom.
That's been an unused thing since He-Man was invented. That Tila is the Sorceress's daughter,
right?
And it's never gone anywhere.
Well, there you go. I bet you it's going to get used up now because why else would she be so upset about magic?
Yeah, and He-Man's going to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. They're going to do something and when I first read that they were splitting the Power Sword, I thought, cool. That they invented that when the toys were invented, before the show even existed.
Yes, that happened.
Yeah. He-Man came with one half, Skeletor came with the other half, and you had to stick them together to make the whole thing.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was just the toys or maybe there was a cartoon too. They used them as keys at one point. I know that.
I probably.
Because I remember it had to be in one of the cartoons because Skeletor had the purple half.
Mm-hmm.
And they were using them as keys for something. I don't remember. I guess I'm going to have to go back and watch the
They probably did.
But so all that's legit.
Yeah. So I thought that was going to be they were going to split them, and Adam was still going to be able to do his He-Man thing with the good half, and Skeletor was going to be able to do a whole new thing.
That's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Which could still probably. If I had to guess, that's what's going to happen. They're going to split the sword again. Skeletor's going to one half. Adam's going to get the other half, and shit's going to go down.
Well, the split sword...
And Tila's going to be shooting sparks out of her hands in the background.
The split sword looks a lot better in this show than it did in the old show.
Yeah, it was just half the sword.
Well, the old show was just one was purple, one was silver.
Yeah.
So this time, at least they looked different once they were split.
Yeah. So, they even gave Cringer a part to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the only one that cared to hang back to protect the Sorceress.
Yeah.
Cringer.
I couldn't deal with Cringer. He's this just a sad cat that can talk. And
I was wondering going in, is Cringer going to talk? That's going to be one of the big things. Because what are they going to do with that? Is he going to be able to talk? And sure enough, he can talk.
he can talk.
Well, I was telling my daughter how much better this show is than the original show. Because she was like, I want to watch the old one. I was like, no, you don't. You've seen this. You've seen I said, I dare to say you've seen peak He-Man at this point.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that. So then
unless you want to see the same 10 recycled bits of animation over and over again.
So she broke me down.
That little run that he does, and then a jump.
Yeah.
Punching the camera, and the transformation.
So I put on the first episode, which the first episode, my God.
Yeah.
So I started watching it, and it's filled with I don't remember this, but obviously this is the way it was. It's filled with Hanna-Barbera sound effects when people get thrown and all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like Snagglepuss hit somebody on the head with a barrel.
Exactly. And Evil Lynn gets thrown in some mud, and it made the classic splorch sound. And it was what the fuck is this? So yeah, it lasts about 5 minutes, and Nola was like, yeah, the other one's better. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Oh man.
So maybe that's who it was made for. Maybe it was made for guys like us that have children to watch it together.
Yeah. Why does every single character? Why does every single character have the exact same physique, Dad?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little thing called rotoscope.
Yes.
They paid one burly man to jump around for a while, and they just draw over him in different costumes.
How come nobody can tell that Prince Adam is He-Man? Well, we don't ask those questions.
They're all idiots, honey.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even give him a different haircut or anything.
Why does no one question that this 400-pound wall of meat is a feeble little coward?
Exactly.
You could still be a coward and never skip leg day.
But what's funny is, like, even when they, like, the purpose of him having the long sleeves is supposed to hide his arms, but he's still, like, ripping through them.
Yeah, he's busting through them still.
Oh man, it's just that classic Clark Kent Superman thing.
Yeah, but worse.
He's got a tan and he's sandy blonde now.
Yeah.
Different human being.
Well, so I did like that they made Prince Adam actually small.
Yeah, they went the reboot route. Did he's a kid, and then he turns into a big beef man,
a He-Man, if you will. Anyway, I liked it. I didn't have any problem with it. Of course, it's got its little things that are stupid in it, but everything does. It's still a cartoon. But
I'm looking forward to the second half. I want to see more of my favorite characters come back that weren't in the first half.
Oh shit! Who are you missing?
Honestly,
I mean, some of the main ones. We don't have Buzz Off. We don't have Stratos. I honestly would want to see Fisto do some more stuff.
I forgot all about Buzz Off. I forgot about that guy.
My two favorite villains were in it, Whiplash and Clawful. Whiplash got a decent amount of time. He got a good fight in there in the flashback.
He did.
But yeah, and like they had a whole thing with Stinkor.
Right.
Yep.
Like they're picking some like if the fucking fireman elephant is in it. The robot elephant that's a fireman in Eternia.
Right. I was explaining to my daughter that the Stinkor toy actually stunk.
Stunk, yeah.
And she's like, no way. I'm like, yes, it did. And then she was like, we should get it. And I looked it up on eBay, and I'm like, no, you're not getting it. I'm not spending $60 so you can have a toy that smells like shit.
I've got an original Clawful on my desk.
Oh, cool.
There's a toy shop here in Dallas that has a ton of old stuff, and I was looking. They had Clawful. So, I want Clawful. How much is it? It was like $30. I was like, shit, but I really want it, so I bought it anyway. They've got a 1-to-1 scale Havoc staff in the display window that isn't for sale, and I've tried to buy it several times, and they will not budge.
Damn.
I called his the first time I went in there, I saw it. I said, how much for that Havoc staff? He said, it's not for sale. It's part of the owner's private collection. I said, I will buy it right now. Name your price. And he said, if I were to sell it, it would probably be around $400. So I called his bluff, and I said, wrap it up. And he said, I really can't sell it. I can't. I'm like, damn it.
Wrap it up.
I'll wear it out.
That would be cool to have, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple of stores like that around here. I think COVID knocked them out, unfortunately. But they had tons of great stuff, like all the classic He-Man stuff, all the classic Transformers stuff.
What happened with COVID?
Yeah, they just couldn't. All the toys got sick.
Oh, okay.
He's being a smartass, John.
At first I was gonna answer like legitimately, and then I realized he was being an ass.
There's a giant Star Wars toy store over here called Order 66.
Oh, cool.
That I don't know how they're surviving, but they are. That not only surviving, they're thriving. They moved to a bigger store.
Nice.
I guess people want Star Wars crap.
That's
well,
weird.
twice a year here where I'm at, they have a toy convention, and I've brought my daughter to it a few times. And some of it's cool, but a lot of it's just people with plastic bins filled with their old toys just thrown in there.
Yeah.
I bet you I can find some good He-Man stuff in there, I guarantee it. So I might have to look for it next time I go. But I'm pretty sure they're going to put out new toys.
Oh, yeah, I've already seen them. Yeah, there's definitely a new line coming out.
I wonder if they're going to put a new Stinkor that stinks.
Maybe.
And then I won't have to spend $60.
Yeah. You just buy a regular toy and stick it up your ass. There you go.
It doesn't,
Boom,
but you know, that Stinkor,
Do-it-yourself Stinkor.
like, it stunk for years. This.
It was made of stronger stuff. Stronger
Here's a
stuff.
serious question. It's a serious question. It's gonna sound weird, but it's a serious question. If I'm around something that stinks real bad, like say I'm gutting an animal, okay? If I fart 2 minutes later, it smells just like that gutted animal. Why?
That's a damn good question.
Any scientists out there got the
I
answers
mean, y'all
here?
experienced that before, right?
Any smell scientists out there?
Like, you know, you go somewhere nasty to dump or whatever, and if it could be 2 seconds later you fart and it smells like the dump. Like, how does that happen?
I can say I have never been to the dump.
Well, there's like
I don't
particles,
know.
right? There's like particles in the air that smell, and those get in your nose, and then that's what causes.
Yeah, but then how do they end up in my colon within a minute?
But I'm saying
work
maybe
down
they
their way
don't.
to your
maybe
ass.
like you're just still smelling the dump.
No,
Yeah, it's stuck in
because you
your
can go
nose.
away from it.
It's stuck in you.
No, that's impossible.
There's still the
Because
particles.
look, I'm gonna tell you, the perfect example of it is if anybody's ever gutted a deer or something. Like, okay, it stinks, and you can leave that area and fart, and it'll smell like a gutted deer.
What
Okay,
is
so we
going
need
on?
specifically listeners who have gutted deers. Have you ever farted days later and it smelled like the gutted deer?
It won't be
Please
days
write
later.
in.
It's not like minutes later. But I don't care if they've done it. I've talked to other people that have experienced this. I'm wanting to know why.
Okay, minutes later. You can't believe that you still have deer stink on you minutes after you were
I'm
romping
telling
around
you,
inside of a
I
deer.
am not as crazy as y'all think I am. This is a real thing.
A phenomena.
I guarantee you, Luke smelled like Wampa for at least a week.
Could have been. And if
Not
Han would have
Wampa
farted in the
Tauntaun.
snow that day, he would have smelled it too.
I have a more on-topic question.
Okay. What are you, crazy?
We were talking about Stinkor. I brought this up. It's pretty on topic.
It's weird that like Skeletor is not the one that lives in this castle that looks like a skull, right?
Okay.
Even
This
I
might
feel
go-
like as a
I
kid,
don't-
I was always confused. Castle Grayskull looks evil as shit. Why is it? Why
It
does
does.
Grayskull look evil?
I'm with you on that.
I'm now. I could have a hazy recollection, but I want to say that in the early production process, Skeletor was supposed to live in Grayskull.
Okay.
Just like in the I want to say it's only in the first episode, in the pilot episode, when it does the whole spiel in the beginning. At the end, he says that they're not battling the evil forces of Skeletor, they're battling the evil masters of the universe. Because Skeletor and his gang were the masters of the universe.
Okay.
In the original draft, it was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So I think things just got discombobulated at some point, and they threw things around.
Look,
Snake Mountain. He's gonna live in Snake Mountain.
they wasn't looking to make a story. They were selling toys, baby.
Exactly. Gotta sell them toys.
You throw up a little?
Almost. So that's that. So I guess okay. In conclusion, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Garbage or not garbage?
Not garbage.
Yeah, it's not garbage.
Agreed. Not garbage. Is it unfortunate that it got leaked and it pissed off Kevin Smith and he said a bunch of dumb shit? Sure.
Yes.
But that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, like most internet controversies, the truth is...
It's blown way out of
Yeah,
proportion.
it's way out of proportion. The show is fine. It seems like if you've been a fan of He-Man your whole life, like, this should have something for you. I feel like me not really being a fan for so long, it felt awkward. I don't know, the whole show kind of felt awkward. There's this whole, like, mix of magic and technology and the characters
that was
so
always
weird.
He-Man's thing.
Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't quite fantasy and it wasn't quite sci-fi.
and I never
was in
felt
between.
like they really built, like, the world building wasn't very good. I don't know. It's fine. It's a fine cartoon.
The world building wasn't very good.
Well, I mean, I don't know where... It's not.
God damn it, John.
Well, like, I don't know. I got no sense of place out of this. Like, so Castle Grayskull exists on a empty wasteland, but later, like, Man at Arms is living out in a cottage in the middle of some forest clearing, and there's, like, villages full of all these like, furry characters. I don't know. I never felt like I was in Eternia, I guess. This is dumb.
My name's John, and I don't think Eternia has enough pastiche.
Yeah.
An absolute lack of pastiche.
I don't know. You're living on this planet. You run into a man that's part man, part spider, and he isn't named Webstore. That's a little weird.
It would be a fun game in Eternia to go around and, you know, you, like, identify a key feature of somebody and be like, I bet his name's fucking, you know, like, Tobor or something. He's got a big ass big toe.
What if you say Nozor?
Yeah.
If he's a bad guy, he's got an or at the end. If he's a good guy, he's got
Not
an
always.
O at the end.
Always. Let's see.
Merman,
Yeah, he was a man.
but he's a bad
Beastman.
guy.
They had some mans. Whiplash. He's his own thing.
Yeah.
But then there's, you know, Spikor, Webstore, Mosquitor,
Fake or.
Skeletor.
Fakor, Skeletor. There's probably a Blastor. Stinkor. Trying to think of other ones.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Damn it. Manny faces.
Yeah. Where was he at?
He has many faces.
Scared glow.
Mecha Neck.
That's a good one. Mechanec's cool. Like, damn.
What I loved about
Boy's got that
that was one
neck.
thing that I liked about the reboot. They did an entire episode surrounded around Mecha Neck complaining about how stupid he is. He was just complaining because he's around all these other guys that have all these awesome powers and he can stretch his neck, and he was depressed about it.
Well.
Like, so
I'm glad
what
we
is,
did this.
what is everybody? I mean, like, are they... What is everybody in Eternia? Are they, like, are they different races? Or are they
Yeah.
from other planets?
There's
No.
humans that
They're the
No, they're all from-
citizens of Eternia.
yeah.
But, like, there's no other, like, group of people that all have Triclopses, right? There's only
Well,
one
no,
Triclops?
he's a cyborg.
He's a cyborg, okay.
Yeah. Trapjaw's a cyborg. Now, in the reboot, they went into it like Whiplash. There's a whole race of Whiplashes.
Okay.
There's a whole race of Stratos people. There's a whole race of Buzz-Off people. We just have one hero from each clan.
Yeah, what's so hard to understand, John?
I just never heard this business before.
Well, look, just shut up and buy the toys, okay?
Yes,
What any sensible person would do. Go out, buy Modulock. He was named Modulock because he was made of different modules that you could lock together and build your own action figure. That's real.
It's real.
Yeah, I'm saying, from a true He-Man fan, there was nothing wrong with this. I'm sorry. There isn't. You can say whatever you want. I know. I was at He-Man on Ice. I was Hordak for Halloween when I was 5.
Of all the characters, Hordak. He didn't make it into the show, did he?
I was He-Man the year before, and it came with this rubber muscle chest piece that you wore outside of your shirt.
Yeah.
And it was made out of that disgusting 80s rubber, and it made me violently sick.
Hell yeah.
And I remember the
stench
coming off those pecs.
Once again, as a parent, I've already brought my kid to He-Man on Ice. I buy the kid the He-Man costume, and he gets violently ill from it.
I vividly remember putting on that muscle chest and just smelling it and then throwing up.
I'd be like, all right, enough with the He-Man shit, okay?
Did you even really have Halloween as a child if you didn't have a stinky-ass costume in the 80s? Like, come on.
They were all made out of toxic chemicals.
Yeah, classic shit.
The masks were made out of that brittle plastic that was like made out of razor blades.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. How else are you going to chop children's faces up?
Christ. So I guess we're going to have to do a part 2 of this when the second half comes out.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be some more controversy that we can shit on.
Yeah.
I'm almost hoping that, like, the second half goes, like, so far woke that all of us are like, oh, how didn't we see this coming? And, like, we were so stupid.
Personally, I'd be happy if it... I think it'd be funny if it did, just to make these guys mad.
True.
They're just, like, explicit. Tila's big lesbian.
I think they should just make them all gay.
Yeah, everyone's gay.
If you really want to be true to the original.
They'll raise the...
Make everybody gay, and then just, like, prop it up by saying, this was the original vision.
Yeah. He-Man's a trans man. He's always been a trans man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what he wears.
They raise the Eternia flag, and it's just the rainbow flag.
In all of those episodes where He-Man runs up and like bear hugs one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
They both look like they're enjoying it.
Yes. And if they'd have just panned over to see Skeletor, he'd have been J and his D the whole time.
He squeezes them. It makes that Hanna-Barbera like balloon squeezy noise. Come on. It is what it is. I grew up watching this extremely homosexual cartoon, dressing in its clothes, going to its ice pageants. I still got married and popped out 2 kids.
There's no threat here.
No.
Right.
This is not a personal attack on me in any way, shape, or form.
Well, good.
Thank you for listening to Garbage Theater. As always, you can find us online at facebook.com/Garbage Theater, on Twitter at Garbage_Theater, and on Instagram at Garbage_Theater. If you'd care to leave us a review on iTunes, we would very much appreciate it. And if you have a movie suggestion or just want to reach out to us, you can contact us at any of our social channels or email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest episodes and happenings. Good night, and see you next time, folks.